Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Hernan Molina. I'm joined today by Assemblymember Anthony Portantino.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for being here with us. Now, we're going to talk about financial aid and Assembly Bill 668, which you are the author. Now, what does this bill propose?
Well, basically, we have a situation where the University of California, the California state system, do a much better job of helping their students access federal financial aid than the community college system. We're basically leaving about $380 million of federal aid unused. And what this bill seeks to do is create a better framework within the community college system to access that federal money that our students so desperately need. And oftentimes it's the community college student who needs it the most. And so many of those students are not taking advantage of the opportunities that are there.
Now, you mentioned that we have a problem of how the community colleges are helping students. Where is the deficiency? Is it that there is not enough staffers, financial aid counselors? Are there?
It's a combination of several things. It's not just the community college. Many students graduate from high school and don't know their options. There's a disconnect between the opportunities available and connecting those students to the opportunities. So what this does is it requires the students to check off that they've received the information. So we'll know that each student actually gets the information they need to apply. Often students will go into the workforce and not know of their opportunities to get financial aid. And what we found is that the cost of college is only 5%, or community college is only 5% of the overall cost of going to school. Students have to live, they have to buy books, they have to get transportation, they have to fend for themselves while they're going to community college, and this federal aid would help them do that, and they're not taking advantage of it.
Now, many times our schools are cash-strapped and understaffed, and there are not enough counselors on site to guide kids through the application system.
Absolutely.
Will this bill, as you propose it today, authorize more funding for staffers, for people to provide adequate information so that kids are aware of what their rights are?
This would provide more resources to the community college system to work with the students directly. So part of it is training the counselors, so there's counselor training in here. There's additional staff for the community college chancellor's office to provide the workshops for the local counselors to do a better job. Certainly on the high school level, we're last in the nation in our student counselor to student ratio, and that's a statistic that we should be embarrassed by as a state. Now, the governor put some one-time counselor money in last year's budget. There's a little bit in this year's budget, but we have to do a better job with high school student counselors. In some schools, it's 750 students to one counselor, and I don't know how one counselor can counsel that many students. I mean, that's a terrible situation.
Now, you were talking about $380 million that are unspent, but yet that students here in California will be eligible to apply for those funds.
Absolutely. We have students eligible for up to $380 million of, that's if we got to the national average. If California just does average in accessing that money, it would increase the total dollars of financial aid to $380 million. If we exceed the national average, we'll even get more.
Because everybody in the United States pays federal taxes.
Absolutely.
And Californians as well paying those federal taxes. Part of those federal taxes are assigned to this type of funding, which is the Pell Grant and other federal grants, correct?
Absolutely.
Now, you were mentioning before that there is some effort in Congress trying to change the ways that they calculate the cost of education and assisting kids at the local level.
Right. One other thing that hurts California students is because our fees are low, they don't get the maximum Pell Grants that other states get with higher fees. So there's a disincentive in California to keep fees low. Of course, the reality of it is lower fees mean more kids get to go. The problem is lower fees means we qualify for less federal money. So Congressman George Miller has a bill working through Congress to lift that tuition sensitivity to help our kids.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. This is really important, and thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you for letting me be here.
You've been watching Local Edition with Assemblymember Anthony Portantino. I'm Hernan Molina, and now we turn back to CNN Headline News.